Lamar can't pass. He's inaccurate. Um, Takes his first read away. What does he do? He runs, he scrambles, he plays street ball. Um, this guy's not smart. He has to have a clause in his contract because for some reason we don't think he's very smart. These are the sentiments that was going on this week about our guys this week, and we're definitely about to talk about it. Let's get it going. Black Quarterback Series podcast. Yo, welcome to Black Quarterback Series, and this week we're going to talk about why anonymous sources are idiots. So if you don't know, my name is Keith Saduka, Black Quarterback Series. Normally I do specific videos to everything, but this week I'm just going to do one long podcast format. Timestamps will be in the description of where I stop and start. But let's start here. Let's start here as our guy Patrick Mahomes said. So we're gonna start here with what I got Patrick Mahomes. Obviously, the black quarterback has had to battle to be in this position that we are, to have this many guys in the league playing. Every day we're proving that we should have been playing the whole time. We've got guys that can think just as well as they can use their athleticism. Now, I never thought I would hear Patrick Mahomes say that and really, defend our guys like that. I always took Patrick Mahomes I'm just gonna a Tom Brady type where he doesn't talk too much about it. But I'm glad that he actually acknowledged that we're getting caught from every angle, and I'm gonna dispute all of these angles today. So let's talk about it. Sit back and chill. We got some time today, so we're gonna start. We're gonna start with the most pressing one. We're gonna talk about Lamar, and then we're gonna work our way up. So Lamar, everybody talks about Lamar can't throw. He's this, he's that, and he needs to be more accurate, and he needs to do this, he needs to do that. Ignoring the fact that this guy has been in the playoffs, the 3 out of the 4 years he's been in the league, been a Pro Bowler every year he's played, that he was not hurt. And also, he's a former MVP, and he has the record for quarterback rushes. Now, take that with a grain of salt. If that's not what you want, that's not what you want. But the numbers speak for itself. He's led the league in passing. I'm not sure if he led the league that year in touchdowns. But the guy is a baller. But and he almost had that trash, and I wouldn't say trash, that hurt Baltimore team in the playoffs. If you guys go look in my channel, if you guys go look through my channel, you'll see I did a couple videos about why Baltimore shouldn't have made the playoffs, or why I didn't want Baltimore to make the playoffs. But they were playing so well down the stretch that they almost would have made the playoffs if Lamar would have played the last couple games in which he got hurt throwing in the pocket. Now, contrary to popular belief, Lamar got hurt throwing in the pocket, trying to throw the ball away because his offensive line was terrible. People don't like to admit that. People will just be like, oh, Lamar, he should be better, he should be better. But you look at all the guys that they have ahead of him, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. I'm going to show you, you guys, Colin's quote-unquote tier list. Look at every guy on this list. If you look at all the guys that are on Colin's tier list, all of them have a dominant first receiver. From Cooper Kupp to everybody else. Everybody on that tier list has a dominant receiver, or at least a serviceable receiver that was starting Baltimore. So to say that he can't do this, he can't do this, how about give him some receivers and we'll see what happens? But no, Baltimore wants to do, they want to draft and try to get all these other guys and just make life a lot more difficult for him unnecessarily. And I just don't like that. I would just love to see Lamar with some receivers. So obviously Lamar has heard all the talk. He's heard all the chit chat. He's heard all the blah blah blasey. And this is what he had to say towards that.
When you're trying to be great, when you're trying to work your tail off, it's gonna be negativity. But they hated Jesus, and I'm not Jesus, so I don't really worry about it.
So as you can see, Lamar's not tripping. They hated on Jesus. I love that quote. And so some other craziness that happened this week is that funny enough, another one of our guys, I'll call him Baby Lamar, Kyler Murray, who's going to help Lamar get a better contract, ironically, he called an immediate press conference, impromptu press conference, because there's language in his contract where he has to do 4 hours of study. So the fact he has to do 4 hours of study was like, why do we need that? And it really had racial undertones to it. So this guy doesn't study. He needs to do this, do this. Really, 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 really bad racially undertones. And so Kyler Murray responds back, I refuse to let my work ethic and my preparation be questioned. Kyler Murray on the contract study clause. So with that being said, and with Kyler Murray doing an impromptu press conference, I'll leave the press conference at the end of this video where he goes into more detail about it, and I'll just give you a little snippet of it, and then you guys can go watch the rest of it if you want to.
It's almost, to think that I can accomplish everything that I've accomplished in my career and not be a student of the game and not have that passion and not take this serious is almost, it's disrespectful, and it's almost a joke. It's, to me, I'm flattered. I'm honestly flattered that y'all think that at my size I can go out there and not prepare for the game and not take it serious. It's disrespectful, I feel like, to my peers, to all the great athletes and great players that are in this league. This game's too hard.
So as you can see, Kyler Murray is he feels some type of way about that, and I would feel some type of way as well. I'm the best football player in high school Texas history. I won the Heisman. Well, I was in contention for the Heisman. I'm not sure if he necessarily won it. I had to fact check that. And I won the Rookie of the Year. And you calling and question my work ethic? In full transparency, guys, I'm only 5'9". I played offensive line in college or in high school. Didn't go to college to play. But even at the high school level, to be that small takes a lot of effort and work ethic. And so to be like, Kyler Murray has a bad work ethic, that's crazy. It should have been a handshake deal. It shouldn't have been, oh, you have to do this. But for $46 million, I think I speak for everybody when I say I'm signing the contract and I'm just doing what I got to do for $46 million. I'm doing what I have to do for $46 million. I think I speak for everybody when I say that. So, like I said at the beginning, and we finish off. Well, we don't finish off. So, we're gonna take a little break in between the quotes and whatnot, and we're gonna some things that I saw that I think we should also talk about. So, I talked about a couple weeks ago. I think it was last week. It might have been last week that with the Saints, that if Michael Thomas could come back, the Saints would be really, really good. And it's been reported Michael Thomas looks like he's ready to roll. So it looks like Michael Thomas is actually going to play ball this year. And with him playing ball this year, and I got Winston getting back together, I think they're going to really make a play at it. Now, when they win the division, I just have to see how good their defense is. But I think they have a legit chance to actually make some noise. I'm not picking them to come out the NFC or anything, but knocking Tom Brady off would put a smile on my face. So I feel like I kind of called that. Also, in the midst of all this, excuse me, and in the midst of all this other news, this just racially undertoned news, Jimmy G. So Jimmy G has been allowed to seek a trade. I think we briefly talked about this last week, but Shanahan made it really, really clear this week that they're going forward with Trey Lance, which I'm not surprised, and which they should do, but it's almost certain that either he's going to get released or they're going to seek a trade. And I would not be surprised if they do seek a trade, which is what they're trying to do. They want to get some value out of him. And a lot of people are saying, and I kind of agree with it, the 49ers would be sitting on probably 2 Super Bowls if they'd had a quarterback that can make a pass. Like, if they sit on 2 Super Bowls, that almost completely changes NFL history. it's safe to say that Trey Lance is the guy, and I don't know if that's the best decision for them. But it's kind of a lose-lose situation because you got your number 3 overall quarterback sitting down, backing up this guy that you know that he's better than. At least he's a better runner, at least. So I don't know. I guess we'll just see. Like I said last week, I see Atlanta in his future. I don't know why. I don't even know if Atlanta has assets to get him. So, and Atlanta's not in the win mode right now. They're tanking. They're probably tanking for Trey Lance at this point, like every other NFL team. They need a quarterback. So it just remains to be seen. So we're just waiting to see. We shall wait and see. And so, last thing before we finish out here, before we get to the last topic to finish out here, Deshaun Watson watch. Nothing new has changed since last week. The only thing that's really changed is that as we all know, Jacoby Brissett would be the starter if Deshaun gets suspended. I think we all knew that. We all knew that Deshaun was going to be, he's going to get suspended at some point, and Jacoby Brissett will be the starter. And I think Jacoby Brissett can lead them to a 500 record. All you need to do is lead them to a 500 record. Because at this point, if Deshaun gets suspended at any point in time, I think they're almost guaranteed a wild card spot. But you got to think, if there's going to be 3 teams to come out the AFC West, we're talking about Kansas City, either the Chargers or the Raiders, or Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos. You got to think 3 of those teams are probably going to get to the playoffs, and most likely, I can't see it. But there might be 3 teams that come out of 2 divisions. Because you talk about the AFC West and the AFC North, quite possibly like 6 of the best teams in the league are in those 3 divisions. So, or in those 2 divisions, excuse me. So, and then you have the Dolphins, which are probably going to be much better next year. We'll see how Tua does. And then you have New England, who I don't think is going to do much. But they might upset a couple people, and then you have Josh Allen up there in Buffalo, and I think they'll be really good. So it's going to be difficult to even make the playoffs. But I think if you hold the fort and keep to 500, I think that gives you some leash, because I think everybody else is going to beat up on everybody else. So, and we got to see how Cincinnati is going to respond to being the hunted and not the hunter. So we shall see. Nothing has happened yet as of. What's today's date? July 30th. Nothing has changed. And so the piece that we started on is going to be the piece that we end on. Take his first read away, and what does he do? He runs, he scrambles, and he plays street ball. Now, growing up, I love street ball. The games and everything else. It's fun to watch. But these executives and defensive play callers, instead of putting their actual freaking name on it, they want to be quote unquote anonymous sources. That's why the thumbnail says these anonymous sources are idiots, because there are idiots. If I say something online, my face is on it and my tag is on it. They don't even live by what they say, because they want their players to be held accountable, but you're not being held accountable at all. You're just hiding behind a screen. And for me personally, I think it's the defensive coordinator for Oakland that's saying all this. One of the defensive coordinators for Oakland, probably somewhere in New England, Boston, obviously. So I just don't understand. These 3 guys are 3 of the best quarterbacks in the league. Say what you want about Lamar, he's a top 10 guy. Say what you want, Patrick Mahomes, he's 1 or 2. If your answer is not Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes, I'm not listening to what you're saying. And our guy Kyler is a top 15 guy. If you don't have him in the top 15, you're racist. I hate to say it, but to say Kyler Murray is not a top 15 guy is ridiculous. So that's really all I got for you guys. Really, really crazy week. Really, really crazy. It's ridiculous that it's 2022 and our guys are still dealing with this. So that's really all I got for you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I'll talk to you guys later.